ranking every episode of Phineas and Ferb Part 30.
Leave the busting to us.
Candace is tired of the same routine. She tries to bust, fails, Mom asks for snacks, Ferb says something clever, and Perry comes home. This is the first episode that really shows off its own tropes. There are so many episodic shows like this that repeat the same storyline, but the thing that keeps Phineas and Ferb fresh to me is this type of self-aware humor. Not only being aware of its own tropes, but playing its humor off of itself. It's especially a huge part of the show in later seasons, but we really see it in this episode. Anyway, Phineas and Ferb build some cool things and their friends are there, but they're mostly there as a backdrop to the main storyline of Candace working with the Bustin' TV show. For instance, Ferb does have 2 lines, but they don't really serve for much more than pointing out the show's tropes. What you doing? And Ferb Zinger 6. The Doofenshmirtz storyline is also full of tropes. The name of his Inator is the Gloominator 3000 Inator. There's a great backstory. They have a great chase scene where Doofenshmirtz is the cause of his own demise, and Perry shoots him with a magic hat bunny gun. Okay, the last one isn't a trope, but it is hilarious. Perry 7, Doof 8. I love the dynamic of Candace and Lulu busting Jones, and we get some fun parallels between them, including everything disappearing and no one believing it. It's honestly the perfect busting episode, but I wouldn't say it's the best Candace episode, if you know what I mean. So Busted 9. With so many self-referential gags, repeating tropes, and great one-liners, this episode is a perfect example of Phineas and Ferb humor. It's also the first instance of the farmer and his wife, which honestly might be my favorite repeating gag. I love whenever it shows up throughout the series. It's just too bad his wife never believes in him. 10. I adore the Bust 'em theme song. If there's one thing this show is good at, it's jingles. It's also the first episode with the Gotta Make Summer Last song, which repeats a few more times than other episodes, and it's always a bop. Music 8. IMDb 8, and I say 8. Overall, I love how this episode can play on so many tropes in an 11-minute runtime. Schwick thinks this episode gets a 74, putting it all the way to 7th place.